Today, we gather to honor the life and legacy of Anita Bryant, a figure whose presence profoundly influenced music, beauty, and activism. While her name may stir a range of emotions, there's no denying the lasting impact she had on both the entertainment industry and the social causes she fervently championed. Anita Bryant's passing marks the end of an era, leaving behind a complex yet powerful legacy, one shaped by beauty, controversy, and unwavering conviction. As we remember her life, we pay tribute to a woman whose story is forever etched in the tapestry of American history. Born on March 25, 1940, in Barnsdall, Oklahoma, Anita Bryant grew up in a modest family that nurtured her natural beauty and musical talent. From an early age, she dreamed of a career in music and entertainment, and by the time she was a teenager, she had begun singing in local clubs. Anita's big break came in the late 1950s when she signed with Columbia Records and began releasing singles. She quickly gained national attention for her sweet voice and became a regular performer on television, particularly on shows like The Ed Sullivan Show. Her breakout hit, Paper Roses, in 1960, catapulted her to stardom. The song, which she performed with a distinct and emotional delivery, earned her a spot among the leading female vocalists of the era. Her career took off with a string of chart-topping hits, including In My Little Corner of the World and Till There Was You. Anita's music touched the hearts of millions, and her wholesome girl-next-door image made her an ideal spokesperson for a generation. Throughout the 1960s and 1970s, Anita Bryant became one of the most beloved figures in American entertainment. She appeared on the cover of magazines, starred in commercials, and was one of the most recognized faces in the United States. But Anita's life wasn't just about music. She became a cultural icon, known for her beauty and as an outspoken advocate for traditional values. Her endorsements for companies like Coca-Cola, as well as her iconic campaigns promoting beauty products, made her a household name. Anita's influence went far beyond music and beauty. She used her platform to speak out on political and social issues. In the 1970s, however, her activism took a controversial turn when she became a vocal opponent of LGBTQ+ rights. This stance led to widespread backlash, but also garnered a passionate following among those who shared her views. She became the face of the Save Our Children campaign in Florida, which sought to repeal a law that would have prohibited discrimination against gay people in public accommodations. The political and social controversies that surrounded Anita Bryant were undeniable. Her opposition to the LGBTQ+ rights movement and the publicity around her campaign generated heated debates and led to her fall from grace in the entertainment world. While some saw her as a defender of traditional values, others viewed her actions as discriminatory. The backlash she faced led to a steep decline in her career, with her once promising music and acting roles becoming increasingly rare. Yet, as with every life, there is complexity. Anita's passion for her beliefs, for better or worse, exemplified her willingness to stand by what she thought was right. Her activism, though polarizing, shaped a crucial moment in the history of LGBTQ+ rights in America. Even as time passed and opinions on her stance evolved, there was no denying the imprint she left on the broader cultural conversation. Beyond the public eye, Anita Bryant was a mother, a wife, and a woman who deeply cherished her faith. She married twice, first to a man named Robert C. Greene, with whom she had 3 children, and later to a second husband, Charlie R. Hines, who supported her in her later years. Anita's family was always central to her, and she often spoke about the importance of maintaining a strong family unit, which aligned with her values. Though her life in the spotlight was often difficult and controversial, her loved ones saw a different side of her, one that was caring, loyal, and deeply committed to those closest to her. Her children and grandchildren have spoken fondly of her, acknowledging both her love and her firm belief in her principles. In her later years, Anita lived quietly but continued to be involved in her community and with her family. Anita Bryant passed away quietly, surrounded by family and close friends. Her funeral was a private affair, attended by those who knew her best, as well as some of the public figures whose lives she had touched. In the days following her death, tributes began pouring in from both sides of the political spectrum. Some remembered her as a trailblazer in the entertainment world, a woman who captivated millions with her music and image. Others, particularly within the LGBTQ+ community, took a more critical view, acknowledging the difficult and controversial legacy she left behind. Among the heartfelt tributes was a statement from her family. "We are saddened by the passing of our mother, who was not just a public figure, but also a loving mother and grandmother. While her views may have been controversial to some, she was a dedicated woman of faith, a hard worker, and a passionate advocate for what she believed in. We will always love her and remember her as the person who shaped our lives with her love and strength." As we say goodbye to Anita Bryant, we acknowledge both the complexities and the profound impact of her life. She was a woman who captured the American imagination with her beauty, music, and sense of purpose. Her powerful voice, which once graced the charts and TV screens, was an integral part of the cultural fabric in a time when music was shaping society. But behind the polished image of the blonde beauty, who became an icon of wholesome Americana, there was a woman who lived a life marked by extraordinary highs and difficult lows. Anita's career and her personal story are not without controversy, yet they are both compelling and instructive for how public figures navigate the complexities of fame, personal beliefs, and societal expectations. Her rise to fame as a successful recording artist, television personality, and beauty queen was nothing short of meteoric. In the early 1960s, her rendition of "Paper Roses" captured the hearts of millions and secured her a spot among the most beloved performers of the era. With her polished, squeaky clean image and a voice that could melt hearts, Anita quickly became a household name. In a world that admired innocence and idealism, Anita embodied that image, and the public adored her for it. But the fame and success were only one part of the puzzle. Her ability to remain true to her beliefs, even when they were met with fierce opposition, was another defining characteristic of her legacy. Yet, as with many public figures, the spotlight that illuminated Anita's career also cast a shadow over the more controversial aspects of her life. In the 1970s, her outspoken political and religious views led to a significant public rift, one that would forever change her trajectory. At the heart of her activism was a deeply conservative stance on marriage, family, and homosexuality. Anita's vocal opposition to the LGBTQ+ rights movement and her leadership in the Save Our Children campaign in Florida led to widespread backlash, not just from the LGBTQ+ community, but from the broader public as well. To many, her stance was viewed as harmful, discriminatory, and out of touch with the evolving cultural landscape. The reverberations of her actions would follow her for the rest of her life, leaving her with a complicated public persona that remains debated to this day. Anita's controversy was not confined to the political arena alone. Her career, once brimming with promise, faltered as a result of her divisive opinions. Once a staple of major advertising campaigns, she was dropped by companies and faced boycotts and protests that rocked her professional life. The world she had once dazzled with her beauty and talent now seemed distant, and Anita found herself on the periphery of the entertainment world. This fall from grace marked a painful chapter in her life. Yet, despite the public criticism, Anita never shied away from her beliefs. Her unwavering commitment to her principles was a hallmark of her character, even if those principles made her a target for criticism. She faced the fallout of her actions with a resolute sense of dignity, never compromising on her views, even as the entertainment industry moved away from her. While Anita's career faltered, her personal life carried on. She remarried, and in the later years of her life, found comfort in the embrace of her family, particularly her children. Though her fame had diminished, she remained a dedicated mother and grandmother, drawing strength from her faith and her loved ones. Anita found peace in the quiet moments of family life, away from the spotlight that had once been so glaring. Her personal convictions and unwavering loyalty to her family became her refuge as she navigated the latter part of her life. In the years leading up to her passing, Anita Bryant lived a life away from the public eye. She resided quietly, occasionally speaking out on issues she felt passionate about, but largely refraining from the public debates that had once defined her life. She became more of a symbol of a time gone by, of a certain cultural moment in American history that, for better or worse, was permanently tied to her name. Yet, as we reflect on her passing, we must also acknowledge the enduring influence she had on the American landscape. Whether we agree with her stances or not, Anita Bryant was undeniably a figure who shaped public discourse. She was a woman who was willing to stand up for what she believed in, even in the face of overwhelming opposition. In a world that constantly shifts its values and ideals, Anita's steadfast commitment to her personal beliefs offers a stark contrast to the more fluid and transient nature of public opinion. Her legacy serves as a reminder of the power that public figures can wield, for better or for worse. It is easy to see how Anita's career, full of musical triumphs and commercial success, could be overshadowed by the controversies that followed. But perhaps in the final analysis, it is the complexity of her life that makes her truly unforgettable. She was not a one-dimensional figure. Her life was full of contradictions, of moments of joy and pain, success and failure. She was a woman who lived and worked at the intersection of art, activism, and personal conviction, and her journey continues to be a subject of reflection and debate. As we bid farewell to Anita Bryant, we do so with a sense of both respect and contemplation. Her life was one that left an indelible mark on the world, for better or for worse. She will be remembered not only for her music and beauty, but for the fierce commitment she had to her beliefs. Her name will forever be linked to the culture and politics of the 20th century, and her story will continue to be a part of the ongoing dialogue about the role of public figures in shaping society. Anita's funeral, a quiet and private affair attended by those closest to her, reflects the full circle of her life. Surrounded by family and loved ones, she was laid to rest in a moment of reflection. The tributes that followed her death painted a portrait of a woman who was, at once, deeply compassionate and unwavering in her convictions. For those who knew her, Anita Bryant was more than just a name in history. She was a mother, a grandmother, and a woman who lived with intention and purpose, for better or worse. As we say goodbye, we hold on to the music, the memories, and the lessons learned from her complex life. Anita Bryant's legacy will forever remain a part of the American story, serving as both a cautionary tale and a reminder of the power of belief. Though her journey was marked by controversy, it is undeniable that her influence will continue to echo through the halls of history. May she rest in peace. Rest in peace, Anita. May your music, your story, and your legacy continue.